As I record this, the Olympics is just about finished in Rio 2016 and I've spent far too much time watching it. I love athletics. But one of the things that struck me consistently when athletes were being interviewed about medal wins, etc., was how much they stressed the hard work and the practice, the repetition, the going over the same thing time and time and time again. Now in their case, they've spent 4 years of unstinting practice for what might be less than 2 minutes of actual performance. So when you're going to give a presentation, how do you rehearse? How do you practice? When I ask that question, I guess the two most typical answers I get are, I don't, and oh, in my head. Now, I don't, pretty rare, but I experience that when I'm working in businesses quite a bit because people say, no, I don't rehearse, I'm really busy, I don't have the time, and anyway, I know my subject really, really well. And most of those things are probably true, but the reality is their presentation is much weaker because of that. Far more commonly, people say, no, I rehearse in my head. That's good, that's fine, that's a good place to start. There is nothing wrong with going through your content repeatedly in your head. But that alone is not enough. It's really important that you move on to saying the things out loud, that you create the connection between your brain and your mouth so that you are saying things in the right way, you know what it sounds like, you can hear the speed, the tempo. And ideally, you're doing it in similar circumstances to the actual presentation. So if you're presenting standing up, which most of the time you probably are, then stand up when you're practicing. Stand up when you're speaking out loud. Once you've done that a few times, consider rehearsing in front of a mirror so that you have something to look at, and albeit a reverse image, you can get a sense of how you're moving, what you look like, what your audience will be seeing. Then practice in front of friends, family, pets, anything at all that will A, up the pressure a little bit, but B, act as an audience for you. When you've done that, record yourself. We carry around so much kit these days. Record first your voice, just an audio recording so that you can hear what you sound like, how you're phrasing, the speed, the emphasis, the amount of modulation, that sort of thing. And then upgrade, video yourself, film yourself. And not a lot of people like standing in front of a camera, and I can understand that. But the great thing is, you see what an audience sees, but also it ups the pressure. As soon as you start speaking in front of a camera, it's so easy to start stumbling over your words, take 73, that sort of thing. So record yourself. When you're doing that, remember, don't present to camera, as I'm doing now. So this will look weird on camera, but look as if you have an audience. Cover the whole space with your eyes. Looks strange on camera, but in your rehearsals, don't present to camera if it's a live presentation. And then invite feedback from people. Post your video, post your audio recordings on your social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, wherever you can, and ask for feedback, particularly when it's a really important presentation. Now, my wife and I are heavily involved in amateur dramatics. We do quite a lot of plays, that sort of thing. And when we're doing that, guess what? We practice a lot. We rehearse a lot. As we move through our rehearsal schedule, we focus our rehearsals on certain aspects, maybe just on moves, maybe on how we're using props, or maybe just on how we're saying certain elements or interacting with other people. As we get nearer the final performance, we have a technical rehearsal where the focus is on the lighting, on all the equipment, on the sound, on, again, props, are they in the right place at the right time? And then we have a full dress rehearsal where we do the full Monty, often with an audience, and really practice everything. So practicing your presentations is really, really important if you want to deliver high quality and impactful presentation. And don't just practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong.